Hello, my name is Shara Savage. I am the Education Administration Program Manager in the Office of Assessment and Accountability. Today, I'm going to bring you the first in the series of the 2024-2025 Back to School trainings. This training is the Accountability Overview. During this training, I will cover Kentucky's accountability system, including status and change, and the federal classifications. I will provide you with a tentative fall 2024 reporting timeline. Additionally, I will review the House Bill 6 website requirements. Finally, I will provide you with valuable resources for the accountability indicators. Kentucky's accountability system provides essential information about the quality of education in schools, helping to identify those performing well and those needing assistance. Schools in Kentucky are accountable at both the state and federal levels. State accountability is defined by KRS 158-6455. This law specifies elements to ensure school accountability. Federal accountability is governed by the Elementary and Secondary Education Act of 1965 and as amended by the Every Student Succeeds Act of 2015. In the 2020 legislative session, amendments to KRS 158-6455 brought significant changes to Kentucky's accountability system. These changes include an exclusive list of accountability indicators are based on status, the current year performance, and change, difference between the prior year and the current year score. These indicators are state assessment results in reading and mathematics, state assessment results in science, social studies, and writing, progress on English language proficiency, quality of school climate and safety, and then in high school, we have two additional, which is post-secondary readiness and the graduation rate. Evaluation based on three metrics. So those three are status, current year performance, change, difference between current and prior year status, the overall performance, which is a combination of all the available indicators, public reporting measures on a color-coded dashboard. Then we also have to include compliance and distinction. The system must comply with federal requirements outlined in ESSA, including identifying the lowest performing schools. Meaningful distinction of schools is essential, as specified in Kentucky's Consolidated State Plan. An overall performance score combines performance on the exclusive state indicators for elementary, middle, and high school. These scores will be communicated using a color-coded rating system, where blue represents the highest rating and red represents the lowest rating. The 5 performance levels from highest to lowest are blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. KDE will release 23-24 assessment and accountability data in a phased approach this year. The assessment and accountability data will be released in data sets before the new school report card dashboard is available. Data will be released in data sets in Open House. This platform provides comprehensive information on school performance, enabling stakeholders to review and analyze educational outcomes. Please visit Open House to access the latest data and insights. Due to a vendor change, a new school report card dashboard will be available later this year. The current school report card dashboard will sunset and be replaced. The Kentucky Board of Education determined the weights for each indicator, which are reflected in the table in this slide, showing the board's value for each grade level. KDE adopted accountability indicator weights to align with the Every Student Succeeds Act. Federal law emphasizes reading, mathematics, and English language progress at elementary and middle schools. At the high school level, the focus is on reading, mathematics, and graduation rate, and it also includes post-secondary readiness. Please note that if the data for any indicator is unavailable, the weights will be distributed proportionally among the remaining indicators. This slide illustrates an example of the elementary school performance evaluation within the Kentucky's accountability system. First, we have the overall performance score, which is a composite of various indicator performances. Indicator performance includes several key areas. State assessment for reading and mathematics contributes significantly, weighted at 51%. State assessment for science, social studies, and writing follow with a 40% weight. EL progress is weighted at 5%. Quality in school climate and safety contributes 4%. Each of these indicators are assessed based on the change and status for the current year, combining to provide an overall score. These scores are then translated into a color-coded rating system to clearly communicate the school's performance. As noted on the previous slide, if data for any indicator are not available, the weights will be redistributed and proportionally among the remaining indicators. This slide is a middle school example. It is relatively the same as the elementary example. However, the weights for this example are different for the middle school level. This slide demonstrates an example of the high school performance evaluation within Kentucky's accountability system. At the top, we have the overall performance calculated by combining the various indicator performances. The indicator performance weights are added together. You have, for the high school level, you have the state assessment for reading and math contributing significantly with a weight of 45%. State assessment for science, social studies, and writing are weighted at 20%. EL progress is weighted at 5%. Quality of school climate and safety contributes 4%. And then additionally, for high school, you have post-secondary readiness, which has a weight of 20%, and graduation rate, which is rated at 6%. Each indicator performance is assessed based on the status and change for the current year, combining to form the overall score. These scores are then translated into a color-coded rating system for easy understanding of school performance. Again, blue representing the highest performance and red representing the lowest performance. The color-coded system provides a clear visual representation of the school's performance. The status score represents the current year outcome for a given indicator. Status is calculated for the indicator according to the measures described in the indicator metrics document. Each status score is grounded in individual student performance, achievement, and contribution. Now let's take a look at understanding the change score. Change scores are calculated by simply subtracting the prior year status scores from the current year status scores. This method is applied consistently across all indicators. Here's the formula for calculating change scores. It is simply the current year status score minus the prior year status score, which gives you the change score. For example, to calculate the change score for 24, you would subtract the 23 status score from the 24 status score. It is important to note prior year status scores are only used for calculating the change scores. They do not influence the indicator performance ratings. Additionally, change scores from prior years are not used in any calculations. Only the current and prior year status scores are considered for the current change score calculation. Now let's take a look at indicator scores. Indicator scores are derived by combining status scores and change scores. This method is applied across all indicators. Here's the formula used for calculating indicator scores. Current year status score plus change score equals indicator score. For example, to calculate the 2024 indicator score, you would add the 24 status score to the 24 change score. Indicator scores are essential for calculating the overall scores, but do not directly influence indicator performance rating. The indicator performance rating will be reported as a color on the state's open house for fall of 24, ranging from red, the lowest, to blue, the highest. Indicator ratings are determined by the intersection of the status and the change in this table for each indicator. For example, on the indicator state assessment results for reading and math, a school may have a change level that increased and a status for the current year that is medium. This combination result in a green color for the school on the state assessment results for reading and math indicator. Now let's take a look at federal classification. Federal classification designations include Comprehensive Support and Improvements, CSI, Targeted Support and Improvement, TSI, and Additional Targeted Support and Improvement, ATSI. For TSI, identification is required annually. Fall of 24 identification will be based on 3 consecutive years of data, 21-22, 22-23, and the 23-24 school year. Comprehensive Support and Improvement, CSI 1, CSI 2, and ATSI will be identified in the fall of 2025. Schools that no longer meet identification criteria and have demonstrated progress will exit federal classification status in 2024. Kentucky's accountability system, as outlined in KRS 158-6455, ensures that both status and change are given equal weight in determining overall performance. Status is determined by the current year's performance data. Change is calculated by comparing the current year's performance with the previous year's data. This applies to all students as a group as well as individual student groups. However, for the purpose of identifying the lowest performing 5% of schools, the change measure will be based on the performance difference over the past 3 years. This is essential for both state and federal accountability to ensure a comprehensive and fair evaluation of school performance. Please note, the calculation will be the same for state and federal accountability in 2024. The difference will begin in 2025 when 3 years of change data are available. Now let's take a look at fall 2024 reporting timeline. Here is an overview of our tentative reporting timeline for assessment and accountability data. On August the 2nd, assessment student data will be released. KSA and AKSA data will be available to districts in Pearson Access Next, PAN. August the 7th through the 14th, our QC data review begins. During this period, new tickets can be submitted for data issues. with ticket resolution continuing through August the 15th. District Assessment Coordinators, or DACs, will review student participation, demographic, and accountability data. On September the 19th is our Quality Control Day. DACs will have their first look at accountability data to identify any possible systematic issues. On October the 1st, data will be embargoed to districts. DACs and selected districts staff will have access to the data. And then on October the 3rd, public reporting begins. The data will be available in open house with the school report card released later. October the 3rd through the 14th is a 10-day regulatory data review period that will commence. New tickets can be submitted for any final data issues, with ticket resolution extending to October the 15th. This will be the DAC's final opportunity to review publicly released data. Now let's take a look at House Bill 6, the website requirements. House Bill 6 of 2024, website requirements for each district and each school, outlines specific website requirements for each local agency and school. Here is what needs to be prominently displayed on the landing page. In a font size of at least 16 points, the percentage of students score in proficient in reading, distinguished in reading, proficient in mathematics, and distinguished in mathematics. A web link to the district or school's detailed results on the most recent KSA in the school report card. Additionally, this information must be displayed in a banner format at the top of each page of the district's and school's website. House Bill 6 sets specific website requirements that KDE must follow. KDE must post a rank order of all schools based on overall academic performance on its website, Open House. KDE must ensure that every district complies with the requirements outlined in House Bill 6, as mentioned in the previous slide. KDE will offer assistance to districts as needed to meet these requirements. For more detailed information, please refer to House Bill 6 of 2024, Requirement to Report Academic Performance on Website document. We have a variety of resources available to support accountability indicator trainings that was created in 2023. Since the accountability system has not changed, we want to share these for you now while we are refreshing the 2024 indicator trainings. Additionally, we have a resource titled Accountability in a Glance, which provides a quick overview of all key accountability measures. These resources are designed to provide comprehensive support and ensure a thorough understanding of the accountability indicators. The 2024 indicator trainings will be released mid to late August. Here is our contact page. If you have any questions, please feel free to email us. This concludes the accountability overview training. Please feel free to watch our other back-to-school trainings listed on your slide. Thank you for your time and attention today.